Hey, what's going on, students? We're going over the Tardy Superior. Use the given values to evaluate each expression. Write each as a simplified fraction, a/b. Okay, here we go. Oh, I remember making this one. So you have two fractions, 3/5 and 1/2. We need to add them, subtract them, multiply them, and divide them. So I'm going to write all of them out, and then we'll do all of the math later. So 3/5 plus 1/2, 3/5 minus 1/2, 3/5 times 1/2. Remember, the best practice, students, is to write the whole thing out on paper. Do the math on paper, then fill in your answers on Schoology. Okay, so remember, the one that's not very fun about addition and subtraction is you have to have a common denominator. The first number that 5 and 2 have in common is 10. So I'm just going to do that for both of them, knock out two birds with one stone. Now, remember, we got to scale them up. 1 out of 2 would be what out of 10? 5 out of 10. Okay. And then 3 out of 5 would be what out of 10? 6 out of 10. So how did I do that so quick? Well, you scaled up. 2 times 5, 1 times 5. 5 times 2, 3 times 2. Scaling up. Okay, your ability to quickly scale numbers up or down is going to make your life a lot easier. All right, we go. So we have 6 things plus 5 things. That's going to be 11 things. No mixed numbers. Leave it as a simplified fraction. 6 things minus 5 things would be 1 thing. There we go. Now make sure, and in this case, they were both already simplified. Make sure you simplify them. So if I had like 8/10, I would have simplified that to 4/5. So make sure you're reading the directions and doing it to the best of your abilities. Pay attention to the details, please. That's a good life skill. Pay attention to the details. When you multiply fractions, it gets a little bit easier. You just multiply straight across. 3 times 1 is a 3. 5 times 2 is a 10. So this is going to be 3/10. Again, that doesn't need to be simplified because 3 is odd and 10 is even. Now remember, you don't actually ever truly divide fractions. You flip the second guy and you multiply, or also you keep, change, flip. Keep this the same. Change the operation, and then you flip the second guy. Now it's just a multiplication. So you never really truly divide fractions. You actually flip the second guy and multiply. So we have 3 times 2 is 6. 5, so 6/5. Leave it as 6/5. Do not make that 1 and 1/5. I'll get grumpy. All right, there you go. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide the same two fractions. Take your time and write it out. This only took me a little over 2 minutes here. So take your time, write it out one step at a time, and then boom, 4 math problems are done. So that is the Tardy Superior.